Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Stampin' Up! Tutorial. So I am excited to be bringing back my monthly free card kit. Now that I'm all set up in my new studio space, I can start adding my free card kits back in. So for this month, I am featuring the Pick of the Patch bundle. This is a new bundle available in Stampin' Up's new mini winter catalog. I love punch bundles. I think they are very affordable and I think they're really easy to use. So I decided to feature this set and I think you're going to really enjoy the projects that I've got for you for the free card kit. So here's how you get your free card kit as a gift in the mail from me to you. So all you have to do is place a minimum $50 order in my online Stampin' Up! Store. That's $50 before tax and shipping. I've got direct links to my online store down below in the video description. And also over on my coordinating blog post if you are watching this video tutorial on my blog. And I do have the host code listed. I'll share it here on the screen as well. Be sure to put that host code in so that I can connect it to this month's kit. Just don't use that code if your order is going to be $150 or greater, because you're going to earn Stampin' rewards for that order, and I don't want you to miss out on those rewards, okay? So don't add it, but you will still receive this kit as a gift in the mail from me to you. Now, if you are not ready to place an order with me, or maybe you yourself are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, or you already have your own demonstrator, no problem. You can still purchase this kit. It is $15.98, only available in the US, okay? I cannot send this kit outside of the US, so it is only available in the US. It's a PayPal link. I've got that link down below for you, so you can click, you can purchase your kit. But remember, it's only for the month of September. So after September 30th, this kit is no longer available. So get your order while you can, okay? And I do actually only have a limited number of kits available. So once I'm out, I'm gonna close that link, okay? So $15.98, you can get yours down below. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. And let's go ahead and jump right into this video, you guys. I'm gonna walk you through how to put together my Pick of the Patch card kit. So the kit will come neatly packaged for you in a cello bag. There will also be 3 envelopes included, and there is a PDF that has a photo of the completed projects as well as the measurements in case you want to recreate any of these cards in the future. All right, so I've got my supplies here for card number 1. I'm also going to have my Stampin' Scrub off to the side because I'm going to need to clean some of my stamps as I go. So I just sprayed some of our Stampin' Mist onto the wet side of my scrub, and I'm just gonna have it like this off to the side to make it quick and easy for me. So I am going to go ahead and get this piece of Calypso Coral cardstock. I actually die cut this stitched image using some retired dies, the Picture This dies. So that's where I got this from, and I'm going to adhere it onto this smaller piece of basic white cardstock. It's just 1/8 of an inch smaller on all 4 sides. So I'm going to adhere these together, and I'm going to use liquid glue to do that, just a little bit of liquid glue, just like that, a little bit more here, okay? And I will add this on top. Nope, I want it this way. I guess it didn't matter, but okay. On top of my basic white, like that. So I want my circles going this direction that you see. And then I've got 3 little circles that I have punched out for you using the Garden Walk Designer Series paper from the new winter catalog. And these are going to be adhered in these little bitty circles here. And I'm gonna use my liquid glue to add these in. So I'll get those put down. Okay, so I brought in my foam mat just so that I can have a little cushion. I just like the way photopolymer stamps stamp with that little cushion. So what I'm gonna do is bring in my inks for this kit. So I'm using Calypso Coral, Mossy Meadow, Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, and Poppy Parade. These are actually colors that coordinate with that Garden Walk Designer Series paper. So I'm gonna bring in my Wild Wheat, my Copper Clay, and my Mossy Meadow for this card. So I'm going to stamp a couple of pumpkins right now. I'm going to stamp this pumpkin first, and then I'm going to stamp this pumpkin second. So I'm going to stamp both of my pumpkins. Ooh, my block needs to be, I need to clean these, but I'm going to stamp both pumpkins in Wild Wheat. And I have to tell you, you know, this is one of the new in colors. I love this color. I guess there are some people who don't care for it, which, you know, I get it. But I love this color. It's like a mustardy brown to me. I don't know. I love it. Okay, it's one of my favorites of the new in colors. So I've got both of my pumpkins. Now you've got this pumpkin stem image included in the stamp set. So I am going to take this image and let's see, I'm going to turn it, well, I don't know which direction is right side up, but I'm going to take the thicker end and just kind of halfway ink it. And I'm going to use the thicker end as the stem for this pumpkin. Okay. Cleaned my stamp and I've just rotated it the other direction, and I'm going to use the thinner end as the stem for this pumpkin. Okay, there we go. And I stamped both of those stems in the copper clay. Then I'm gonna add a little face to my larger pumpkin. You've got this little face image in the stamp set. Doesn't that look so good? And then we'll add this little curly piece to this pumpkin just as a little something extra. I'll put that right there, just like that. Okay, and then there is a little die cut piece of crumb cake in the kit, and I'm gonna stamp my sentiment on there. And I'm stamping the Happy Halloween sentiment in Mossy Meadow. So I'll just center that on. Looks good. Now we can put this card together. So basic white thick card base. It's already scored for you. So all you have to do is fold on the score line and give it a nice crease with your bone folder. And then I am going to put down this piece of Wild Wheat cardstock directly onto, onto my card front. There we go. I mean, look how pretty this color is. Great fall color. Just put that down in the center, and then I'm gonna pop this layer up. You don't have to. You could leave it, just put it on flat if you want to, but I wanna go ahead and pop it up with dimensionals. Okay, so I'll just put that in the center of my Wild Wheat, like so. And then I'm going to pop up my Happy Halloween as well. Whoops. And that is going to go in this little opening right here. Just center that up. That's not centered. Let me do that again. Okay, I'll go with that. Then you've got this little strip of, these are the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. These are so pretty. Let me just show you a larger piece of these, but look at that. Aren't these gorgeous? Ah, oh, I love these. So, so pretty. So you'll get a whole strip of these like this. You're not gonna need all of those. You're only gonna be using 9 of the jewels, but you've got a lot of extra if you want to use them on something else. So I'm just going to focus on using the smaller ones. So I'm just going to pick up 3 of these and get them onto my card. Let's see. Do one there. And then I'll do doot, doot, just like that. And there you have it. That finishes up the first card in this kit. Happy Halloween. Very non-traditional Halloween card. Really sweet, cute card, but I like it. All right, so I've got all of my pieces here for card number 2. So I'm gonna take out all of my basic white pieces to do my stamping. Okay, so you've got 2 stitched rectangle pieces here. I'm going to start with those first. And I've got my Wild Wheat, Copper Clay, Mossy Meadow, and Poppy Parade. And in Mossy Meadow, I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says a harvest of blessings. And this literally fits exactly into this die cut rectangle. Put that right there. A harvest of blessings. Then on this rectangle, I'm going to stamp this larger pumpkin image in Wild Wheat. I'm going to stamp that kind of off to the left here, right about there. Okay, then I've got my little stem again, and again, I'm just going to put it, I'm going to turn it upside down to where the thicker piece is at the top. About halfway, ink it up, and then stamp that down. Okay, then I'll ink up my little curly piece again, stamp that down. Looks good. Then I'm going to bring in this little leaf image here, and in my Mossy Meadow, ink that up, and I'm just going to pop that right about here, and we're going to put a pumpkin over that. So on this scrap piece of basic white that comes in your kit, you want to bring in your punch, turn it over, and we're going to stamp this pumpkin. So we need to stamp it this direction on our cardstock so that it's easy for us to punch it out. That's this pumpkin right here. So I'm going to ink that up in my Poppy Parade. And in the bottom right corner of my cardstock, I'm going to stamp that pumpkin facing the same direction as it is on the punch. And you know what? I shouldn't have done it like that. I should have put it on this edge so that I don't waste, LaQuita, so that I don't waste all that cardstock. So let me do that again. I mean, that little piece is wasted, but at least I'm not cutting so much into my basic white. So actually, I don't like how that's stamped. It's stamped too light, so I'm just going to cut this piece out, which I guess I could have done from the beginning, but that's okay. And I just left enough for me to kind of hang on to, and I'll punch this out. Right there. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals, and I'll put that over my little leafy piece. Isn't that pretty? I thought that looked so pretty together. Put that right there. Okay, so now we can start putting our card together. So I've got, again, basic white thick card base here. Give it a nice crease, and I'm going to take this piece of Designer Series paper. This is from the Garden Walk Designer Series paper. That's the paper that I am featuring in this kit. And I'll just add this on with my Stampin' Seal. And I'm gonna put this about maybe ½ an inch from the bottom of my card base. So right there. If it goes over the edge a little bit, just trim it down. Alrighty, that looks good. Then I'm going to take this piece, this rectangle, and add it onto this Calypso Coral stitched rectangle. And then I'll put dimensionals on the back of this, and then dimensionals on the back of my sentiment rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then put my sentiment a little beneath it. Let's see, I want to make sure I'm centering that up. I think that looks good. Okay, and then I'm gonna finish it up with some of these rhinestones. So I'm going to do one right here, and then I'll put two on the other little pumpkin. Do I want them over here this time? No, I'll stick with the same place. Just like that. Isn't that so cute? That finishes up card number 2, A Harvest of Blessings. All right, now the last card, card number 3, which is my favorite. So I'm going to take out both pieces of basic white because that's what we're going to stamp on. Okay, so for this stitched piece of basic white, that's where I'm gonna put my sentiment, which is, you're the pick of the patch, and I'm going to do that again in Mossy Meadow. All the sentiments were in Mossy Meadow. Put that in the center. Okay. Then, in order to line my stamping up for this card, I'm gonna go ahead and put down my designer paper. Now, I'm just going to put it down with just a little dab of glue, just to be sure if I make a mistake, I could still flip it over and not have messed up my, being able to use my designer paper. So just press that down right there. Okay, so we're gonna do a lot of stamping on this one. I'm gonna bring in my scrap piece of basic white and start by stamping my pumpkin on here, which is this pumpkin that you can punch out with the punch, and I'm going to stamp that in wild wheat. Ink it up. I'll just stamp that right here. Okay. And I'll also go ahead and punch that out. Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna start stamping pumpkins all across the top here. With this image, I'm going to stamp in Poppy Parade, and I have kind of a wonky Poppy Parade ink pad. I need to buy another one. I've had this one since we got the new ink pad design, so I've had it for a few years, but it's just, I need to replace it. So I'm going to put some re-inker on here to get the vibrant red that I'm wanting for this image. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp this pumpkin right about here. Okay. Okay, and then this pumpkin will eventually be popped up right about here. Yeah, right about there. So I'm gonna stamp my next pumpkin, which is this one, and I wanna stamp it in Calypso Coral. Okay, so I just cleaned my stamp off. And I'm going to stamp this right about there. So I'll just move that pumpkin out of the way, put that there. Pretty. Next, I'm going to stamp this one in Wild Wheat. I love the shape of this pumpkin. And we'll just put him right about there. Looks good. And lastly, you've got this tiny little pumpkin. I'm gonna stamp that one in Poppy Parade right next to this one. Right there. Okay, so since everything's where I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and fully adhere this designer paper down. Again, this beautiful pattern is from the Garden Walk Designer Series paper. Then you've got another strip to go across the top, which is actually the opposite side of this piece, the reverse side. All right, and let's get our little stems put on. So I'm going to do just a tiny little stem here for this little pumpkin on the end. So I'm just inking up just the very tip in my copper clay. Look at that. Just put that right there. Then I'm going to clean my stamp, rotate it around, and get just the tip of the thicker end and put that as my stem for that pumpkin. So cute. clean my stamp again, and leaving the thicker end at the top, I'm just going to ink about half of the image, and that'll go on that one. Clean again and rotate my stamp to the thinner end, ink about halfway, and that will be the stem for that pumpkin. So cute. And then we're gonna punch a stem for this one. So I'm gonna bring in my punch, and let's see, there's a little piece here of copper clay to punch my stem. Got it. And then I'm just going to, I want the thick end at the top, just like that. So then I'll just flip this over and add a dimensional to hold that in place. And I'll also put 2 more dimensionals on the back of this. We'll go ahead and pop this onto the front of our card. So let's see, I want that right about there. Isn't that so cute, you guys? Okay, let's get this card put together. So beautiful wild wheat card base here. And I am going to add this basic white layer onto this piece of Poppy Parade, and it just gives you a nice thin border of that pop of red, and I don't know why I just did that way. I'll put this on my card base, and then I'll add my layer. So it just gives you that nice little thin border of red. Okay, there we go. And then dimensionals onto the back of our sentiment. I'm gonna do 3. I have so much ink on my hands. Bring in my ink towel. Okay. And I'll put my sentiment in the center, overlapping both pieces of designer series paper. Clean my hands. Okay. All right, so then I'm going to bring in my jewels again, my rhinestones, and add 3 of these. So I'll do 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. And there you have it. That finishes up card number 3. You're the pick of the patch. I love this card. It is beautiful. Okay, so I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial and that you love these pick of the patch projects. And don't forget, you have 2 ways that you can get this kit. You can purchase it for $15.96 if you are in the US. And I've got a direct link down below where you can purchase your kit. Or you can place a $50 Stampin' Up! Order with me in my online Stampin' Up! Store, and you can receive this kit as a free gift in the mail from me to you. I do have direct links down below in the video description to my online store if you want to place an order. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed. Have a great day, and stay tuned because I will be back again very soon with another tutorial. Bye now.